track, killing it every time. Is this thing on? Can you hear me now? Mark Payne's podcast, gonna show you how to level up your life, break free from the chains, ignite your inner fire through sunshine and through rain. Is this thing on? Let the truth be told. Mark Payne's podcast, stories to unfold of triumph and struggle, the human heart's design. In this digital age, his voice is truly divine.
What's up, yo? It's your boy Mark Payne. What's up, y'all? Back for another episode on Unplugged Radio. That's right. Taking a long walk this morning, clearing my thoughts. That's right. I can be anywhere and go live. Anywhere in the world and go live on Unplugged Radio. And at the moment, I'm taking one of those walks where I'm clearing my thoughts, freeing my spirit, and doing what I normally do, and that's keeping my peace. And that's normal, everybody. Watch out for each other, because nowadays, safety is null and void. Do not allow each other to go out publicly without looking out for each other and praying for each other. We're in a time of where we need the most prayer, the most help, the most love, the most caring, and the most empathy towards each other. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. This is your boy, Mark Payne. That's right, live on Unplugged Radio. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Monday passed. I was supposed to be on yesterday, but unfortunately, things happen in life. Sometimes you have to skip a day. You know, when you are your own boss, you can do things like that. Okay, so I am on my own, doing my own thing, and sharing the love with all you individuals out there that have been following me on Facebook, Instagram, and all other different social media platforms. And I deeply appreciate every last one of you guys that have been doing so. This morning, I want to talk about something very special that I have encountered recently, and I think that it's important that we all pay attention and take heed to this, because it's very important to keep our peace internally and externally. We should be good people towards each other at all times. We should not allow ourselves to see opportunities and feel like, or see vulnerability in anyone, and because of that vulnerability, feel like we have to take advantage of them. That should never happen. We should never be individual people that see vulnerability in other individuals who are trying to be good to us, who are trying to be nice to us, and try to take advantage of those individual people as if though they're not paying attention or they don't care that you're taking advantage of them. There's nothing cool about that. When you encounter stuff like that, it is the most uncomfortable feeling, because you know that you're doing everything you can in your power to watch out for that person, or, to do the right thing towards that person. But when you have other individual people that don't have a conscience, and then they see that you're doing all you can to take care of them or to help them in this situation, and then they see that, oh, this guy's a pushover, or this female's a pushover. I could just do whatever I want to them and, make them feel like, it's just, we're family, or, we're friends and whatever. No. Real friends and family don't do that to each other. We don't try to take advantage of each other and see how much we can get away with because the person is actually a genuine person or nice. That's nothing cool about that. that's actually demonic to me. Like I feel like there is a demon spirit in that. When you know that, somebody is actually looking out for you and helping even in your music career or whatever you're doing in life. And you have these individual people that feel like, hey, I'm doing everything I can to look out for you or to help you. And I feel like, you're just taking the situation for granted and you are using my kindness and weakness as a weakness. And that's not good. And so I got up with that in my spirit this morning. Want to talk about that because when you encounter that in life, when you encounter these types of things in life, you have to address it. You can't let it dwindle. You can't just let it reside in your spirit and you don't say anything about it because it's not cool to have that locked in your spirit, especially when it comes towards your family and friends and people that you love in your life. Nothing cool about that. So pray about it. Ask for strength. Ask for help to be strong and courageous enough to address when individual people are trying to take advantage of you, or they're using your kindness as a weakness and they're just saying all different types of things that, or thinking a certain way about you because you're that type of person. Be very alert when it comes to that type of activity. So I just wanted to share that with you guys this morning. That's the first thing that was on my mind and on my spirit that I wanted to share with you guys that I thought was very important that you guys need to take heed and pay attention to. Now, in other news, let's see here. See what I got here. As I always like to share music news with every last one of you listeners out here, individual. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if we have any music news this morning. Let's see. There's so many things going on, boy. I'll tell you. Let's see here. Let's see. Now, we all know about the Diddy story. We all know that, he's been in this situation with the law and all these different things and, that have been happening in his life. And it's to my understanding that he's supposed to be sentenced on October 3rd. However, for some reason, Cassie writes a letter to the judge saying she has Diddy nightmares ahead of sentencing. Like, what? Okay, now, we know that her case was settled or, she was given a certain undisclosed amount of money. But Puffy's in enough trouble as it is. And then you write to the judge that you're having Diddy nightmares? Like, okay, so hold on one second. I gotta read this out. Casey wants to see Diddy pay big time for his crimes, and she's letting the judge in the case know she's permanently scared by the mogul's threats, physical abuse, and horrifying sex acts that led her to thoughts of suicide. Wow. Let's go a little further into this. Diddy's ex-girlfriend of 11 years typed a letter to Judge Aaron Subramaniam ahead of Diddy's sentencing Friday after his conviction on 2 counts of the Mann Act, which is transporting a person or persons across state lines for the purpose of prostitution. Casey wrote She felt trapped in her 11-year relationship with Diddy because he used threats and substances to control her and her career as a singer. She said Diddy groomed her into performing repeated sex acts and hired male sex workers during multi-day freak-offs, which occurred nearly weekly. She said Diddy demanded she engage in freak-offs with male escorts and threatened to destroy her reputation by leaking sex tapes if she didn't. Casey also highlighted the vicious beating she took from Diddy during the infamous 2016 Intercontinental Hotel assault captured on surveillance in LA. She said at the time, she was always in a state of hypervigilance while always anticipating demands for sex or otherwise fear of retribution. All these years later, Cassie says she still has nightmares and flashbacks on a regular, everyday basis and continue to require psychological care to cope with her past. She worries Diddy and his associates will come after her and her family, so she's moved her family out of New York area while she keeps a low profile. She says she's so scared that if Diddy walks free, his first actions will be swift retribution towards me and others who spoke up about his abuse at trial. We'll just have to see what the judge rules at Friday's sentencing. That's deep. So, I get that you're trying to reach out publicly to alert individual people about your fear of what you think might happen. But I think that you writing a letter to the judge and kind of like amplifying the situation. And now, don't get me wrong, I understand that what he did was wrong. His actions were wrong, and what he did and however he did it was wrong. No person in life should go through that by the hands of another individual person. No one. However, if you already know that this man is the way he is, why try to amplify by writing a letter to the judge? Because you have to understand one thing. Money in this country is very powerful, and when it comes to people living a certain lifestyle or wanting to be on a certain level of life, that talks. Or when it comes to the prosecution, the defense, these guys know each other. They know how to manipulate and finagle the system. So, because they're being paid high dollars, big dollars to make specific things happen. So you have to be super low, if anything. Why would you want that PR by telling the judge and then it being leaked to where you actually physically wrote that letter to the judge prior to his sentencing? That's something I would never have done. If anything, I would have tried to make peace with him. If you're in that much fear of your life and your family, how could I make peace with you? Or, I know this is what happened and I understand that this is what happened and blah, blah, blah. But I would not have amplified the situation by saying, I'm having nightmares and my family. Okay. Look, move on with your life. I don't think, Puffy is looking at her like that. I don't think he is deliberately targeting, you know what I'm saying? Because there's too many people on her. There's too many eyes on Cassie right now. And if anything does happen to her, then everyone is going to know. They're going to know exactly what happened. So why even magnify the thought of or idea of somebody harming you? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, right before the court case. The sentencing. Like, really? Like, why would you even... To me, that's just crazy. But Like I said, I'm not condoning Puffy's actions. I'm not condoning what he did as being a good thing. That whatever he did was terrible. Whatever kind of acts that were performed were terrible. Especially to anyone, you know what I mean, that wasn't willing or participating in that type of life, or, they got caught off guard, in that type of life. That should have never happened to anyone. So, really, I'm sorry for all the things that happened to those individual people, but move on with your lives, because you don't want to amplify someone's ideas and thoughts of coming after you. You know what I mean? So, you did what you had to do. You moved out of the state. You're watching out for your family. You're keeping them protected, which is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't give anyone this idea of extra thoughts of violence. You know what I'm saying? This man's trying to get his life together. He's trying to move on. He's trying to, rehabilitate from the things that has happened. He has a family as well. He has kids and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I believe that, in his mind and the time that he spent sitting in those jail cells is giving him some time to rehabilitate in some way, form, or fashion. So it's time to move on and leave him alone. Let him get his life together. Let him think about what the things that he's done, and let him think about what his actions. And then just let it be. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Like, don't take advantage of people because you think they're weak and naive. Don't take advantage of people because you think you can get over on them because of your financial status, or, what you think you have, or, things like that. It's like there's nothing cool about that. The only person that should have power over you like that is God himself. So be aware of everything in your life and give flowers to those who help you in your careers or whatever you're doing. The ones that are genuinely trying to help you, give flowers to them. Salute them. Give them a big shout out. Today is the day. It's Tuesday, September 30th, the last day in September. Give those people a big shout out. Tell them you love them. If you know that they deserve it, tell them you love them. You know what I'm saying? And help those who need help. When you have the power to help them, you help. You don't stand idly watching other individuals struggle when you know that you have the power to give them or place them in an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So, big shout out to all the people that I've worked with, that I have given opportunities to. Sandro Keys, Leo the manager, Farrah Fitted, City the Great, Rusty Guns, Kumulu from Tribal Tone. Multiple people that, I'm looked out for because they're good people. They deserve to have good things happen in their lives. So I'm giving a big shout out to those individuals. You know what I mean? The Real Delane. Top Cat Talent. I'm giving a big shout out to those individual people that are trying to make other people's lives change by doing what they doing, advertising and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Especially the Top Cat Talent, because they have been investing their time and money to try to help other individuals grow on their platform. Everything is not going to be free. You got to pay for something. So know that you have to invest in yourself in order to grow. So for all you individuals out there that I have been given opportunities to, and big shout out to Devontae Riley. Very cool young brother. Glad that I was able to meet up with him and, have a good talk with him. Brother is very talented. You know what I'm saying? Look out for his new album coming out shortly. Me, myself, I have new music coming out. I have a new one called Change That that's on the airs right now. That's on streaming. And that's going to be another show that I talk about. We're going to be talking about streaming on the next show because we got to talk about it. We got to talk about what these streaming platforms are doing and how they're doing it to other individuals. All the people that follow me on Facebook, all you individuals that are top fans and stuff like that, I appreciate you deeply. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Like I said, look out for each other. Talk to each other. Don't take advantage of each other. Love each other and show empathy. Y'all have a great rest of your day, all right? Peace.
Yo, check the stats, numbers don't lie. Mark Payne's podcast, reaching for the sky. From humble beginnings, a voice in the night. Now a beacon of hope, shining ever so bright. He tackles tough topics, no subject too taboo. With intellect and wit, he'll see you through. Each episode a journey, a lesson to be learned. In this podcast community, we're all forever concerned. Can you hear me now? Mark Payne's podcast, gonna show you how to level up your life, break free from the chains.